What's going on, YouTube? I'm back with another video. I decided to do it in a different location. I'm out in Cordova, actually at my mom's house. She's got a new house and she has a nice backyard, which is not really a backyard, it's just an open land field with other houses around. But nonetheless, I'm outside, it feels great. Thought I'd do a video out here today. So let's get into week 10's recap. All right, so we're still doing back end, ain't nothing changed. I still don't know a lot of nothing. That's totally double negative. I don't know a lot still, mainly because I've never messed with backend, nor have I ever had any previous experience with backend. So I'm still kind of lost, not as lost as I was last week. Look, I can go ahead and give us the rundown on what we did. So let's see what I got here in my notes. All right, so we started getting into the grit of things day one. They were actually getting introduced to like the tools and utilities that we'll be using. So they introduced us to MongoDB Express, which is like a tool almost similar to how jQuery is to JavaScript. Express is to, I guess, Mongoose, or something of that nature. Still don't know this stuff, guys. We also got introduced to Mongoose, and then we got introduced to a body parser. I'm not entirely sure what all these things do yet in conjunction. I mean, I kind of got a grasp on it, but I'm not going to talk until I really got a grasp on it. But day two, we started learning how to route stuff, seed data, database persistence is pretty much where how I think in one of my previous videos I showed you that if you type some stuff into React and you press submit, it prints to the page. Well, now we have that thing, a similar thing set up to where you can save it in a database. So if you want to pull that information later or update that information later, you can definitely do that. And that is, we've been using MLab for right now just to get a free experience and understand how things are working. So that was pretty cool. Day three, we have our soft skills day, like always. The first half of class is soft skills. And we got some more help with expense tracking. So our program director totally gave us some trackers to look at. Like mint.com, or if you have Bank of America, you could just use their expense tracker. But just pretty much telling us how to utilize that. That way you know where your money is going, and if you ever needed to correct anything, you know what you can probably cut out or spend a lot less money on. Another thing that we talked about was actions speaking louder than words, or words speaking louder than actions, or if they're equally the same. Of course, I'm not gonna go into my thoughts on that because that's not the point of this, is just keep this short and concise. Another thing we talked about in relation to that is how would you get your actions to align with your words? And I will say this, being honest to who you are and knowing what you're capable of will definitely help your actions and words align, because if you feel like you're going to lie about something, chances are your actions are not going to live up to what you're about to say. But that's just my little short 2 cents on that. So later that day, we actually had a company come in and talk to us, and it was pretty cool. We had Green Mountain Technology come in, 2 of their developers, I guess senior developers and project managers, I'm not entirely sure, but they talked to us a little bit about their business, and we got to ask some questions. Pretty much things that I asked were what are the things you would look for in a web developer, or do you guys particularly look for front end or back end, or do you guys look for full stack developers? Other questions people might want to know the answer to, like what kind of technologies do you all use, like maybe even for like databases, for IDEs that y'all use. What language do y'all normally program in? And I mean, for the most part, they seem to be pretty flexible with things that you may want to use. Like they're not high strong on any language because you're probably going to run through all of them. They're even talking about like switching over to another language to use next year or something of that. Now, in day 4, we finally started trying to get this to work with the front end. So all the work that we were doing with the back end, pretty much setting up our routes and learning these things such as post, get, delete, put, just learning how all of those route systems work. We got to combine it with front end HTML and React. We used React to do it, honestly. And it helped things be a lot clearer and understand how the back end works. It's just, it's so so much information to try and retain in a matter of like 2 weeks, because we started this last week and now we got it to work for the front end. And actually this happened in day 4 and day 5, so I'm gonna merge both of these. Day 4 and day 5 we learned how to make our back end cooperate with the front end, and that is a real tedious task. But I mean, it's slightly better than last week, because last week there was just no front end to help my brain connect anything, and not to mention it was like a short week for me anyways. But this one is a lot better. That's pretty much what happened for week 10. It's just working with back end, and I really wish I could go into more detail, but I, one, feel like these videos would be extremely long. 2, I'm gonna get a lot of information misconstrued and probably convey it to you guys wrong, as if I already don't do that well enough. In 3, yeah, I'm just not gonna do that. So that pretty much wraps up what happened in week 10. I know next week we'll still be working with more back end. It'd probably be a little tougher because we're gonna try to do this all the best we can from memory. You know, actually I didn't really get an agenda for next week, so I'm gonna be surprised, but not really, because I know it's still back end working with front end and other things dealing with back end. Either way it goes, this pretty much wraps up this video. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you need to tell me something or you want to get at me, leave a comment. Or if you look in the description below, you can find links to my social media, and that'd be much appreciated if you guys would please contact me. I love talking to people. Please also share this video. You may be helping some guy out or some girl out. So I believe that's all. So I'm now gonna go play basketball, and I hopefully won't suck too bad. All right, so that's all. You guys have a good rest of the day or night, morning, whatever. I'll see you all next week.